So what you can see there are preparations which are going on because the county governor, His Excellency Dr. Kiambu Matangi, will be visiting the assembly this afternoon for the State of the County address, which is his first one since the last general elections. And therefore we are requesting that everyone who is watching us today can pay attention to what the governor has to tell the county of what has been happening for the past 1 year since he took over office after the general elections. Therefore, these are preparations which are going on. He's going to talk about what has been his county government has been doing for the past 1 year, and therefore he will be received today by the Speaker of the County Assembly as well as the House leadership led by the Deputy Speaker, Majority Leader, and the rest of the County Assembly leadership. And therefore we request that from 2:30 will be tuned live from this channel of the County Assembly of Kiambu, both in our YouTube and Twitter handles, and also the Facebook handle, so that we can be able to be informed, or we can be able to inform our people of what has been happening in the country. So therefore we welcome all of you, all of us, so that we can be together in this. Preparations of how far we are going as we have seen the governance because we are like
So I stand here?
Yes.
I also can how to but very much. Today is a great day. We are having the State of the County address by His Excellency the Governor. And our standing orders. It's a very important day in the calendar of the Assembly. By extension, the people of Kiambu, the achievements that he has had for the past year, ground for what he wants to do in the coming year. So it's a very important function for us as an Assembly. Yeah, I love music. So wakati mnacheza inaingia vizuri kwa roho. So we really appreciate. So nataka kama ile nguvu ya kupiga hii kitu yote ipatikane.
Excellency, sir, got a guard mounted by Kiambu County enforcement officers. Thank you for your instruction. I have your permission to follow the quarter guard, please, sir. Thank you, sir. Quarter guard.
KT.
Eni. Ke haria.
Trust in our county. Let your blessings descend upon us, the assembly members. Section 32K of the County Government Act number 17 of 2012, as read together with Standing Order 31-1 of our standing orders, requires that the governor to, among others, deliver an annual state of the county address containing such matters as may be specified in the county legislation. In this regard, honorable members, via letter reference KCG/GVN/CS/Volume 1/025, dated 8th December 2023, His Excellency the Governor informed the Speaker of his intention to deliver the annual State of the County Address to the County Assembly. Consequently, pursuant to Standing Order 31-2 of the County Assembly of Kiambu Standing Orders, I gave notice of today's special sitting, the 14th of December 2023, to the honorable members of this House, via Gazette Notice, Volume CXXV number 259, which was dated and published in the Kenya Gazette on 11th December 2023. Accordingly, honorable members, this special sitting is properly convened. Your Excellency and honorable members, it is the custom of this assembly to recognize the presence of invited guests in our gallery. I therefore wish to recognize the following guests: members of the County Executive Committee, led by Mr. Peter Ndegwa, the Acting County Secretary and Secretary to the County Executive Committee.
Honorable Speaker of the County Assembly, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Majority Leader, Majority Whip, Minority Leader, Minority Whip, and the entire House leadership, honorable members of the County Assembly, distinguished guests, fellow Kiambu residents. It's a great pleasure to join you today as I report to the people of Kiambu on the state of our county. It marks slightly over a year since I took over the leadership of this great county. In that period, great milestones have been achieved. As you recall, during my inauguration, I made several key pronouncements that I have significantly shaped in my first year in office. Upon assuming leadership, we were met with a series of critical challenges within government that demanded immediate attention. These included outstanding bills exceeding Kenya shillings 7 billion, a decrease in own source revenue, a broken healthcare system, inadequate service delivery, a demoralized workforce and deteriorating infrastructure, and a general state of neglect, among other pressing issues. To confront these challenges, we needed immediate, decisive, resolute, and unwavering commitment. Our success hinged upon addressing these issues directly, without allocating blame or dwelling on past shortcomings. It was clear that swift and effective action was imperative. Adequate drug supply, neglected facilities, and demotivated staff being among issues that needed urgent attention. The road infrastructure in our wards was in horrible state, to say the least, with constant complaints from our people about the situation. To add to the sorry state of affairs in our county was the low morale among the employees. Our workers had to endure many months without salaries, and I had to tackle this swiftly. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in execution of our mandate, we are driven by the imperative need to reshape our public service sector to better meet the service delivery needs of our people. Our actions are guided by the fundamental principles outlined in my election manifesto. These principles serve as the pillars for this transformation. In governance, my guiding principle has been to install integrity, accountability, transparency, and commitment in service delivery. We had to introduce a new positive culture among our employees, which I am happy to report here that it's now paying dividends. To make progress in transforming our county, I identified health, agriculture, education, infrastructure, and the provision of water as my flagship projects. These are the areas that affect Wanjiku on a daily basis. By putting more emphasis on these areas, the county is now set for a revolution. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, for the past 1 year, thanks to the dedicated team we assembled, I am delighted to report that we have made significant strides in our mission of making Kiambu great again. Our residents have started reaping the benefits of my administration, and we have witnessed great progress across all departments. As a result, the county has taken a turn for the better. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, kindly now allow me to highlight key achievements in various sectors within the 1 year we have been in office. Health is a key pillar in my administration, and I have therefore placed special focus on this sector. In the month of October, Kiambu became the pioneering county to roll out the universal health care program. This will ensure easy access to medical services for our people by launching the Kiambu Afya, popularly known as Wamatangi Care, which is in line with His Excellency President Dr. William Ruto's vision of affordable and accessible healthcare, a vital part of the bottom-up transformation agenda. The Kiambu Afya has enrolled 70,600 households, benefiting over 300,000 people. We are looking forward to a fresh phase of registration early next year to surpass the 100,000 households threshold, covering nearly 500,000 people. This program grants access to inpatient and outpatient services at government-accredited facilities. Today, as I speak, beneficiaries can now go to any public health facility, obtain medical care, and walk away without paying a coin. It is indeed revolutionary. Our collaboration with NHIF has secured enhanced benefits for beneficiaries, covering chronic diseases like hypertension and diabetes. We have also included a last expense cover, offering Kenya shillings 100,000 to any family of a deceased member to assist in funeral expenses. Our community health promoters, CHPs, who play a crucial role in our healthcare system, have now already also been absorbed in our payroll. I urge members to expedite the Kiambu Community Health Bill 2023 pending before the House to formalize this arrangement. Mr. Speaker, at that point, I may want to stress that point, that we urge the County Assembly to take a special look at that bill, the healthcare bill, which will enable us to ensure that we fast-track the process of onboarding our CHPs and indeed rolling out the full scale of our medical programs, Mr. Speaker. To boost the morale of our employees, over 700 healthcare professionals have recently been promoted. Mr. Speaker, because I didn't overemphasize this point in my other addresses, let me bring to the attention of the House that as we came into office, Mr. Speaker, I found that for the last almost 10 years, there has been 0 promotions within the healthcare sector, Mr. Speaker. And we were confronted with that arduous task of ensuring that we motivate our healthcare workers by giving them their rightful and due promotions at that time, Mr. Speaker. And thus to confirm that in the last 2 months, I have promoted a total of those 700 healthcare professionals who can now, Mr. Speaker, who can now proudly also recognize that the service they deliver to our people is worth its while. We have also taken decisive action to eliminate drugs and other medical supplies. We have also taken decisive action to eliminate the shortage of drugs and other medical supplies in all our hospitals. Our goal is to maintain an above 90% stock levels in all types of drugs and other non-pharmaceuticals in all our healthcare facilities. In the Central Medical Store in Ruiru, which is nearing completion, we will streamline procurement and supply for continuous facility stocking. Mr. Speaker, if in this modern day and age, where, Mr. Speaker, communication is largely digital, and indeed even in Houses of Parliament, I believe it will be useful to agitate that when we come to make the next State of the County address, Mr. Speaker, how good it would be if we would be also having a transmission system that would enable us to show the images of what we speak about, Mr. Speaker. When I talk about the medical facility in Ruiru, which is now 95% complete, Mr. Speaker, it would have been my pleasure to allow members of this House to see for themselves the work that we have done there to ensure that that serves as an aggregation center for our medical supplies, Mr. Speaker. And it becomes a central holding ground, Mr. Speaker and members, so that at no time do we have to rush to either suppliers like KEMSA, meds, so that we can restock our hospitals, Mr. Speaker. We are doing that, we'll be doing that in the next 2 months here in Ruiru, Mr. Speaker. We are soon completing installation and activation of the Hospital Information and Management System, briefly called HIMS, in all our health facilities to embrace service delivery and manage distribution of drugs. Mr. Speaker, again, I don't want to be very lengthy in my explanations, but allow me also to let members understand that as we embark on domesticating our ERP, that is our Enterprise Resource Planning Program, that part of the initial achievements that we have decided to undertake is to automate services in all our medical care facilities, Mr. Speaker. This helps us to manage all our drug supply systems, the uptake of drugs, Mr. Speaker, non-pharmaceuticals, Mr. Speaker, and including healthcare workers program, that is the HR department and management of Mr. Speaker, our healthcare workers, all of them automated in that system, such that we are able to tell in which facility is which health professional on duty today, who will be on duty tomorrow, just in case anything went wrong during any attendance of any of our people in Kiambu. It is possible to tell which person, which health professional has attended to that patient or to that member of our community. Mr. Speaker, that also helps us to manage the flow and stock levels of our medicines and drugs in every facility. Honorable members, still under healthcare, various infrastructure developments have been made. My administration has embarked on transformation of healthcare facilities across the county, starting with constructing 13 new level 3 hospitals. Mr. Speaker, those facilities are in Dumberi, Kiamumbi, Mwihoko, Kahawa Sukari, Dendero, Kiawaroga, Kawaida, Gitodhua, Adhena, Kahawa Wendani, Gitaru, Odhero, and Darasha, Mr. Speaker. In all those wards, Mr. Speaker, we are building brand new level 3 facilities, Mr. Speaker. The dispensary at Gatondo South, Ngenda Dispensary, will also be upgraded to a level 3 hospital, Mr. Speaker. These level 3 hospitals will comprise outpatient and inpatient wings with 16-bed capacity maternity, 10-bed general wards, a mini theater, and a laboratory. In Juja sub-county, we are constructing a new level 4 hospital and renaming it the Juja Level 4 Hospital from the previous Gashororo Health Center, Mr. Speaker, to also enhance healthcare services in Juja sub-county. In Kiamba sub-county, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, we have commenced the construction of Karori Level 4 Hospital. So both Juja and Karori Level 4 hospitals are being constructed at a combined cost of approximately 500 million shillings. In Kikuyu, we have commenced the completion of the Goto Level 4 Hospital, while in Limuru, we are also completing Bibirioni Level 4 Hospital, and completion is also going on in Lari and also Githunguri Level 4 hospitals, which had all stalled, Mr. Speaker, prior of our coming to office. And Mr. Speaker, because we are addressing our county, it is important that we put it on record in this House, Mr. Speaker, that some of those projects had stalled for more than 8 years, Mr. Speaker, some of them having been commenced in the year 2014, Mr. Speaker, and abandoned since that time. But now we have undertaken the responsibility, Mr. Speaker, of completing those projects so that we can maximize the use and reduce wastage of public resources which were invested in those facilities. We intend to have a minimum of 1 level 3 hospital in all our wards and a minimum of 2 facilities in every heavily populated ward, Mr. Speaker. Renovations are currently ongoing at the Kiambu Level 5 Hospital, which for years had been in a deplorable condition due to general neglect by previous administrations. Other facilities undergoing renovation include Thika, Kihara, Kigumo, Tigoni, Nyadhona, as well as dispensaries at Kamae, Goliba, Kenale, Juja Farm, Makongeni, Rironi, and Gorongo. We are also in the process of upgrading Igegania Level 4 Hospital into a Level 5 facility, Mr. Speaker. My administration has also embarked on a 500 million Marshall Plan to procure and equip all our facilities with state-of-the-art medical equipment to enhance quality medical service delivery. Further, we are in the process of renovating and fully equipping 14 ambulances as well as acquiring 6 new ones. We have also awarded the tender for the construction of a new mortuary at Gatondo Level 5 Hospital. Healthcare in Kiambu County will never be the same again. In regards to education, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our pursuit for a brighter future for our children under our Leave No Child Behind initiative has ignited a transformative wave in Kiambu. I am dedicated to ensuring that our children have access to quality education. To break down barriers, we have amplified our efforts by tripling the bursary allocation from Kenya shillings 100 million to 300 million, Mr. Speaker, progressively removing the walls of financial hardship that continue to obstruct the dreams of countless needy children. And we are not stopping there. Our plan is to increase bursaries from Kenya shillings to Kenya shillings 500 million in the next academic year, which starts in January 2024. Honorable members, upon assuming office, I was struck by the distressing state of our many early childhood education centers, that is ECDEs, across Kiambu County. The sight of dilapidated, torn-down classrooms serving as learning spaces for our children was a disturbing reminder of the neglect these crucial institutions have suffered from for a long time. To rectify this and ensure a firm foundation in the education of our children, we have embarked on a journey to turn things for the better. My administration has commissioned the construction of 180 modern ECDE centers. These centers, comprising of a PP1 and PP2 classroom, offices for the teachers, ablution blocks, and children's play areas, mark the first step in our plan to modernize all our 524 ECD centers within the next 3 years, Mr. Speaker. Understanding the fundamental role of nutrition in our children's growth, my government initiated a feeding program for ECD pupils. These children now receive a daily nutritious bowl of uji, a boiled egg, and which fuels their potential to learn and flourish. In addition, from January 2024, each child will receive a packet of milk every Thursday. ECD centers are the first attraction of a learner into the education system. That first experience must be enjoyable and must leave a lasting positive impression to the child. Still, under the education sector, we have revived the construction of stalled vocational training centers, that's our VTCs, paving the way for skills development and empowering our youth to contribute meaningfully to society. The plan is to have a VTC in every ward to ensure youth have avenues to acquire technical skills. Later in this address, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I will also be highlighting the role of VTCs, the role which VTCs will be playing in the journey to spruce up our urban centers and in job creation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, allow me to turn to the key sector of roads, transport, and public works. This sector is a key enabler to the socio-economic transformative agenda under one of our pillars in my manifesto. My administration is committed to revamp the road network throughout our county. Our goal is to ensure that all 60 wards boast of roads that are well-maintained and accessible throughout the different seasons of our calendar. To achieve this, road construction units are being assembled in each sub-county. The units are equipped with the necessary machinery like excavators, graders, trucks, water bowsers, and compactors. We are utilizing quarries owned by the county to provide the construction materials, significantly reducing the overall cost of rebuilding and maintaining our roads. So far, we have successfully opened up and restored more than 400 rural access roads within our wards. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, the process of tarmacking roads in various parts of the county is underway. Noting the critical importance of disaster preparedness, my government has undertaken the rehabilitation and deployment of previously non-functional fire engines, bolstering our capacity to effectively manage emergencies. Further, modernization of bus parks is ongoing with projects progressing in Makongeni, in Thika, in Kiambu town, in Kwamaiko, in Githunguri, and in Kikuyu constituency. These upgrades will notably improve public transportation and overall quality of the transport sector. Upcoming tendered projects include bus parks in Githurai, Githunguri, and OJ in Ruiru. In response to rising electricity costs, we are in the process of changing street lighting to solar energy. Approximately 18,000 solar street lights will be installed across the 60 wards alongside the ongoing repair and maintenance of existing lights in this financial year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, turning to the crucial water sector, my government has also prioritized this key area. Our county has grappled with numerous challenges, none as severe as the critical shortage of water, which has a direct effect on our people's livelihoods. The harsh reality of the prolonged drought in the past year and into parts of this year has left many households struggling to get this essential commodity. But like the rest of the country, we have experienced relief due to the current rains, a welcome blessing to our agriculturally rich county. This has, however, not fully eliminated our water problem. Our rapidly growing population has put immense pressure on our already limited water resources, making it imperative that we act swiftly and decisively. Through a series of concerted efforts such as promoting water harvesting, desilting dams, and drilling boreholes, we have to combat the pressing issue of water scarcity in Kiambu County. Through our Maji Nyumbani program, we are working around the clock to provide water and substantial infrastructure improvements. This project involves the acquisition and deployment of an expansive network of pipelines and strategically positioned water tanks. I am proud to inform you that my government has successfully procured and installed more than 100 kilometers of network pipes. Our goal in the first phase is to establish more than 5,000 water connections, ensuring that this precious commodity reaches over 10,000 households spread across Kiambu County. I wish to appreciate the current partnership with the national government, Adi Waterworks, and Danida, among other development partners, to increase access to clean water and to 80% by the year 2027. We also thank JICA for their continued support in solid waste management, especially at Kangoki Dam site. Additionally, I am delighted to announce ongoing efforts by the county government to strategically drill boreholes throughout the county. Furthermore, we remain committed to reviving and optimizing the output of existing boreholes, bolstering our water supply network. In line with our resolve to preserve a clean and healthy environment, my administration has dedicated one day each month to a collective community effort to clean up our wards. This initiative has resulted in remarkable improvements across all areas and has instilled a proactive culture among the people to take charge of maintaining cleanliness in their surroundings. We have also provided the listed version of litter bins, which have separate containers for different wastes, and this will be distributed to all urban centers. Honorable members, as I wind up on the update of the water department, I'm pleased to report that our proactive measures in mitigating El Nino's impact have yielded positive results. Upon receiving the alert, I swiftly established a multi-agency El Nino and Flood Preparedness Committee, co-chaired by the Roads, Transport and Public Works Department. This committee identified and mapped flood hotspots, facilitating the unclogging of drainage and deploying the necessary tools. Thankfully, no major incidents have been reported in our county, and we hope that this favorable situation remains. Mr. Speaker, of what I've just spoken, allow me to just re-emphasize that point, Mr. Speaker, so that it is well grasped by members of this august House, Mr. Speaker, that indeed further and discussed before with the County Assembly, that we have embarked on procuring eco-friendly waste disposal bins, which we intend to place, Mr. Speaker, in every corner of this county, and especially in the urbanized towns and areas, so that conveniently our members at the point of disposal of waste can do so in an eco-friendly manner. Mr. Speaker, part of the challenge why this county has not been able to maximize on the world trend today, where waste is now a resource that most countries now enjoy, that countries do invest in getting clean energy from waste, Mr. Speaker, is as a result of the trend and style of disposal. Mr. Speaker, with our new introduction, we shall allow members of community to dispose disaggregated waste, such that in the dustbins that we are providing, honorable members, a person will be able to disseminate recyclable waste in one slot, biodegradable waste in another, and disposable waste in another. What that will help us to achieve is that at the point of disposal in Kangoki, that waste can be collected, put together, and it is easy for us to determine and decide to use part of that waste, which is recyclable, into energy generating, as a energy generating resource, Mr. Speaker. Thankfully, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, shifting the focus to agriculture, my administration is committed to fueling the growth of this important sector. Since agriculture is the backbone of our county, it is important that we provide support to our farmers to enhance productivity and increase payments to farmers. Our efforts have commenced with the distribution of essential farm inputs, including maize seeds, fertilizer, and avocado seedlings. Coffee farmers have also received top-dressing fertilizer. In addition, we have initiated a social empowerment program for our women, where we provide them with 1-month-old kienyeji chicks, Mr. Speaker. And this program goes beyond the mere distribution of chicks. It provides empowerment, entrepreneurship, and an economic transformation for our women. Mr. Speaker, allow me to also emphasize on that point that for better comprehension of the county that we are addressing, this chicken distribution program has been misconstrued in many quarters to just look like a tokenism program. Mr. Speaker, this is an empowerment program that is future anchored for our women, Mr. Speaker. And save for the fact that most of the time when I go around together with the honorable members of this House to distribute the chicken, which we have abbreviated to be called chicks, Mr. Speaker, I've had sometimes the challenge of dealing with young men, some of them including all 12 sub-counties. This undertaking is more than just poultry farming, not only digital weighing scales, milk ATMs, pasteurizers, and coolers to dairy cooperative societies as we move towards advanced processing techniques and to enhance value addition. Mr. Speaker, because dairy farming at cooperative level, Mr. Speaker, has been kind of secluded to a few sections of this county, it has passed unnoticed, Mr. Speaker, that one of the big expenses that allows our dairy farmers to benefit is by enabling dairy cooperatives to process that milk, Mr. Speaker, to be able to store that milk, Mr. Speaker, when there is an oversupply, and also add value to that milk, Mr. Speaker, that has been supplied. And that is why 2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, we gave for free pasteurizers, milk ATMs, weighing machines, digital ones, Mr. Speaker, and coolers to most of our dairy cooperatives. Mr. Speaker, we are also envisaging that will culminate in most of our dairy cooperative farmers benefiting from our newly introduced program in the feeding of our young kids at school. Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, we shall be giving for free every Thursday about 50,000 packets of milk every month, every week, Mr. Speaker. That means, Mr. Speaker, that it is not the child only who is benefiting, but the farmer, because we shall be providing a ready market for our farmers, Mr. Speaker. We have achieved tremendous progress in transparent utilization of our county resources, Mr. Speaker. We have successfully settled pending bills inherited from the past regimes, paying over $1 billion out of the $7 billion that was owed when we came to office. We have also devised a roadmap to clear the remaining debt. The county government entered the 2023-24 financial year with a clean slate, devoid of any outstanding bills related to works completed or goods and services provided during the financial year 2022-2023. Mr. Speaker, I believe, as a governor, Mr. Speaker, that this is one of the areas that, despite many challenges, Mr. Speaker, that the county executive arm of this government is deserving of the accolades of the House of the County Assembly of Kiambu and the people of Kiambu, Mr. Speaker. Because as I stand here, I am proud, as I've said, to announce that we crossed this financial year, 2022-2023, without a single pending bill in our administration, Mr. Speaker. We paid everything. This accomplishment underlines our dedication to the prudent management of public finances. It reflects our commitment to responsible fiscal governance. We have embraced the Enterprise Resource Program, a new system that covers management of finances in all the sectors such as hospital management, building approvals, business permits, and other revenue charges, as well as exploring more revenue streams. Just this year, our county was recognized as among the best in self-generated revenue collection. The county collected Kenya shillings 3.6 billion in own source revenue, an increase of 12%. Building upon this growth in revenue, we have set our sights higher on a new target of Kenya shillings 7.9 billion for the current financial year. Mr. Speaker, as again was public knowledge and is public knowledge, we, the county government of Kiambu, is the only county in the entire of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, to have braved and collected an increased own source revenue, Mr. Speaker, without, Mr. Speaker, adding a penny to the cost and taxes and levies and fees. And Mr. Speaker, it is important that I stress to the House that according to the law, the county government is not permitted by law to collect taxes. The only thing that we collect, Mr. Speaker, is fees and levies. And it is only out of those fees and levies, Mr. Speaker, that we have, Mr. Speaker, in that 1 year, which was partly an election year, to collect an increased 12%, a number never achieved before. However, a comprehensive survey conducted by the Control of Budget and Treasury in collaboration with the World Bank shows that the county is currently collecting way below what it should, as it has a potential to generate more than 13 billion in own source revenue. We are working towards transforming this potential into a tangible reality. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity also to request through you, Mr. Speaker, two members of this House, that the ardent task of ensuring that we collect revenue and make sense of the 13 billion potential that has been established as the capacity of this county, Mr. Speaker, that we would do very well with the support of members of this House, Mr. Speaker. And we want to request through you that members of this House should and can help the executive part of this government to collect the 13 billion, Mr. Speaker. Each of us is elected in a ward, Mr. Speaker, and we collect revenue from these wards. I want to invite members of this House to co-own that responsibility with us. And as I have expressly told the team in my arm of government, that the member of county assembly is an integral player. And I have so also required that members of my team should respect our elected MCAs, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge the House that members take as their own responsibility to ensure that the staff that we deploy are responsible, that they are accountable, that they uphold integrity. And I have no problem if I find that a member of county assembly has apprehended a wrongdoer or has stood firm if they find that there is malpractice, malfeasance, or theft of public resources. And so I want to invite members of this House, because we are all elected on the same platform with members of the county assembly. As the saying goes, if we don't stand together and work together, then we will hang separately. And our hanging day will be in 2027 in August if we don't stand together, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, because we don't want to hang, we will be winning in 2027 from the work that we shall do. That is why I invite members of this House to work with us to ensure that we get to the 7.9 billion target. Mr. Speaker, urban development stands as one of the crucial mandates of the county government as our population continues to grow. Foresight dictates the necessity for meticulous planning. It is imperative that we strategize comprehensively to guarantee our people residential areas that are well designed. Upon assuming office, I took a significant leap forward by establishing 6 new municipalities. That is Githunguri, Lari, Gatondo, Juja, Kabete, Githurai, to stimulate urban and economic development, inclusive of urbanization to improve the quality of life for our people in line with Sustainable Development Goal number 11. And this is in addition to the 6 initially conferred municipalities of Kikuyu, Limuru, Thika, Kalori, Roiro, and Kiambu. I'm in the final stages of delivering Thika Industrial Smart City, which will be the center of innovation, employment, information, and technology sustainable growth and development. Creation of the 6 municipalities and the city will significantly modernize our urban areas and enhance their potential as centers of employment, education, economic growth, revenue generation to our county. The new municipalities will also help the county to tap into partnerships and donor funding from the World Bank and other development partners. The county is expecting a grant of 1.6 billion per year until the year 2026, 2027, and which is an amount that will be shared equally by all municipalities. Mr. Speaker, that number, as indicated, is likely to change as the years roll by. It has gradually rolled over and continued to increase, Mr. Speaker, and I believe that having now municipal managers in place, Mr. Speaker, that we are poised to make big steps in this area, Mr. Speaker. This financial injection is earmarked for vital infrastructure projects ranging from road tarmacking, water connectivity, sewerage systems, street lighting to modern markets. This will significantly modernize our towns. Kiambu County is also set to receive 1.6 billion from the World Bank Kenya Urban Support Program, that is KUSIP. This amount will be shared by all our municipalities, Mr. Speaker. We successfully recruited the 12 new municipal managers to oversee these municipalities. The county is also working on digitizing the land registry, automating building plans, the approval process. Further, Kiambu has an informal settlement upgrading program through the Kenya Informal Settlements Improvement Program, known as KISIP, in areas such as Kiandutu, Indhika, Madharau, Kanjeru, and Karanji. Residents of these settlements will soon be issued with title deeds, Mr. Speaker. There is a need. There is a proposal to change the names of these settlements, Mr. Speaker. That is a discussion we've had with honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker, when I went around to parts of this county with members of this House. There are various public facilities, installations, and settlements with quite unbecoming and sometimes humiliating names, Mr. Speaker. I went to launch a bridge, and Mr. Speaker, when I went, the name of the bridge is Ngoma Tupu. I decided to inspire the team there to give that bridge a better name, Mr. Speaker, in settlements such as in Ruiru, such as, Mr. Speaker, Bosnia, other places like Kiandutu in Thika, meaning a place of jigas, Mr. Speaker. All those names, as we have said, as we transform this county, we are going to change into inspiring positive names, Mr. Speaker. This is also to encourage the public to adhere to the guidelines and relevant approvals pertaining to development of their properties, payment of land rates, and compliance with the county requirements on land-related matters. Honorable members, our vision stretches far beyond mere infrastructure and administrative improvements. Industrialization stands as a cornerstone in our pursuit of self-reliance and wealth creation. To this end, a number of strategic projects have been set in motion under my administration. This is to encourage the public to adhere to the guidelines and relevant approvals pertaining to development of their properties, payment of land rates, and compliance with the county requirements on land-related matters. Honorable members, our vision stretches far beyond mere infrastructure and administrative improvements. Industrialization stands as a cornerstone in our pursuit of self-reliance and wealth creation. To this end, a number of strategic projects have been set in motion under my administration. Foremost among these projects is the ambitious transformation of Thika into an industrial city, Mr. Speaker. This forward-thinking initiative has different aspects, from fostering manufacturing to establishing an economic processing zone and providing affordable housing on the Del Monte land. Construction works at the EPZ is expected to start in 3 weeks' time. We anticipate that these collaborations with the national government and the private sector will generate over 50,000 new jobs. This concerted effort is poised to drive economic growth and prosperity throughout our county, Mr. Speaker. Complementing, Mr. Speaker, allow me to comment, there was a bit of a mix-up there, but allow me to comment, Mr. Speaker, that at one point this county was scared that we are likely to lose our opportunity to establish an EPZ, Mr. Speaker. And let me put it on record in this House of Records also, that at no one time, Mr. Speaker, did we ever stand the risk of losing our opportunity. We as the county government were top on our toes to ensure that we have complied. And right from the word go, Mr. Speaker, all our documentation was in place, our applications were in place. We had engaged the National Land Commission, Mr. Speaker. We had engaged every other facility and every organ of government, Mr. Speaker, that is instrumental in ensuring that we establish and have a vibrant EPZ, Mr. Speaker. And so when the time came, our documents were on the table. And I want to take the opportunity to expressly thank His Excellency, the President, because he dutifully and consistently persisted that Kiambu must be on the roadmap, no matter what. And that is how, Mr. Speaker, when the time came to stand up, we were ready, we had our documents. We were not like the 6 sisters who had their lamps without oil. We had oil in our lamps. And so, and so let us put to paid, Mr. Speaker, any rumors that were there that we were not ready. We have been ready, we will be ready, and we always stand ready, Mr. Speaker, and we will deliver on the vision, Mr. Speaker, of ensuring that those 50,000 new jobs are going to be created in the newly concepted EPZ in Thika. Complementing these initiatives is the construction of an international stadium and cutting-edge technology and transportation infrastructure, including the dualing of a section of the Thika-Garissa Road. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, as promised in my manifesto, my administration's top priority is to empower the youth in Kiambu through sports and other entrepreneurial strategies. In a world where our young generation faces constant challenges, sports stands as a unifying force, providing not only recreation but also a source of employment. Sports serves as a universal language that equips our youth with the ability to dream, persevere through hard work, and attain greatness. I am elated to report that more than 700 teams have signed up for the ongoing Kiambu County Governors Champions Cup football tournament, a clear demonstration of the immense enthusiasm of our young people towards sports. My resolve is to utilize sports as a means to actively engage the youth in Kiambu, positively impacting their lives and nurture our future leaders. The sports drive is also about fostering character development and instilling good values. My administration has also facilitated the training of coaches for various disciplines as a way of promoting sports. We have also trained and equipped 180 football referees who are now working with us on the ongoing Governors Cup and paid for their good work. In addition, close up to 300 teams have benefited with uniforms and balls. We have also procured other sports equipment, including volleyballs, netballs, basketballs, darts, as a way of supporting sports development for our youth. Additionally, our efforts are underway to establish the Kiambu People's Bank, similar to the Hustler Fund, with an initial seed capital of Kenya shillings 200 million to facilitate access to financial resources for the youth entrepreneurial initiatives. From these funds, our young people will be able to borrow money at very low interest rates to boost their ventures. Others can take loans to start businesses. We will progressively bolster this fund to ensure it grows substantially. Moreover, the potential of our youth, the county is acquiring cable making machines to be installed in the vocational training centers in our VTCs. This initiative aims to empower the youth, employing them in the production and laying of cable stones to enhance the face of our urban centers. Mr. Speaker, I want to announce to the House, Mr. Speaker, that when I addressed this House upon election, Mr. Speaker, we promised that we shall invigorate the youth, and one of the targeted areas that I pointed out, Mr. Speaker, was that we were going to acquire cable machines, which we have planned to put in every ward, Mr. Speaker, where there is a VTC, and where the VTCs, Mr. Speaker, are not up to that capacity. We have embarked on a robust program to improve those VTCs, Mr. Speaker. We have cases in point, Mr. Speaker. In Biashara Ward, in Reiro, Mr. Speaker, we have designated that as one of the first recipients of our cable making machines to empower the youth in that area. Part of the initiative we have immediately taken is to improve that facility, build a perimeter wall, ensure we build a shed, and also create adequate room for display and manufacture of those cable stones, Mr. Speaker. Our next target, which will be done simultaneously, Mr. Speaker, is in Mogoga. And, Mr. Speaker, from there we shall roll to Thika. We shall roll to Limuru, Mr. Speaker. We shall roll to every ward and ensure that there is no young man who is idling anywhere, Mr. Speaker, in this county, to ensure that, Mr. Speaker, we make good sense of the opportunity that we have. That is the dual win. It is a double win, Mr. Speaker, for our youth, because they will be taught the skills to know how to make these cable stones, Mr. Speaker. They will be taught the marketing skills of how to market this cable. They will be taught the skills, Mr. Speaker, of how to lay those cable stones as artisans. And finally, once the whole deal is done, the owners of those machines will be the youth in those VTCs and those regions, Mr. Speaker. So that, Mr. Speaker, when we talk about seriously creating employment for our people, we are not just paying it lip service. We are doing it indeed, Mr. Speaker. And that now has come to bear. In the next 1 month, Roiro, Mogoga, from there heading to Thika, progressing to Gatondo, Mr. Speaker, this will start vibrating and it will be seen. We are targeting that the second round of bus parks that we are doing, besides the ones that I read, are going to be done with cabro that has been made by the hands of our young people. Further, as a county Department of Youth Affairs and Sport is actively engaged in the rehabilitation and enhancement of various sporting facilities across the county. Among the venues currently under the tendering process are Thika Stadium, Kawaida Sports Ground, Kanjero Stadium, Roiro Stadium, Nyamadhombe Stadium, and Kambura Super 99. Mr. Speaker, we also have in that lot also Kagwe Stadium, which also, Mr. Speaker, we are improving. They are either in progress, some of them, and others are planned for renovation and improvement. At the Thika Stadium, the department's plan entails the construction of stalls, the addition of a swimming pool, a cafeteria, and refurbishing of the spectator stands, which had been neglected for a long, long time. Kawaida Sports Ground in Shianda Ward, Kiambu County is set to undergo improvements also, including the installation of chain link fencing and astroturf carpeting. Mr. Speaker, in Kabete sub-county, the initial phase of works at Kanjero Stadium involves the construction of a main pitch of FIFA standards, an Olympic track, and a secondary pitch, including a tennis court, volleyball court, and spectator stands. The renovation of Kambura Super 99 in Kikuyu is focused on enhancing the drainage system. We also have embarked on the renovation of Kagwe Stadium, as I've said, Mr. Speaker, in Nyandoma Ward. Roiro Stadium in Biashara Ward, Roiro Sub-County, will also see a comprehensive transformation to meet FIFA standards, which will include recarpeting the worn-out AstroTurf, construction of modern drainage systems, adding spectacular spectator stands, landscaping the surrounding area, and erecting walls for local traders, Mr. Speaker. The department has been facilitated with graders, backhoes, rollers, which have been used to level and compact grounds over weekends, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, my administration continues to coordinate, manage, and supervise all county government activities at the devolved units level, that is sub-counties and ward level, to bring service delivery closer to the people of Kiambu County. My administration has been improving offices at the devolved units. We have embarked on construction and renovation of offices in the devolved units. I have fast-tracked the completion of offices in Juja and Lari office blocks. Juja is at 85% completion, and soon it will be complete. We have also renovated Kabete, Githunguri, as well as Gatondo North sub-county offices, and others will later be ongoing. Mr. Speaker, this is in line with our intention to renew the infrastructure of the county. Allow me to say, Mr. Speaker, and put on record, that when we came to office, that literally no single county establishment or installation, including the county headquarters, as I said, Mr. Speaker, as I came in, were worth the sight of any person respecting this county of Kiambu, Mr. Speaker. And so we have taken this around to ensure that we will renovate, we will improve the infrastructure, the appearance, the facilities of each of our sub-county headquarters and other areas, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, because I know it also is of importance, while speaking of renovation of offices, I want to also acknowledge, Mr. Speaker, that you have brought to my attention, including the House leadership, of the necessity to also assist members of this House to have respectable offices at the ward level. Mr. Speaker, I want to make it a commitment as a governor that I will work with the county assembly and ensure that we help assist and finance some of the areas with this county assembly to ensure that members have respectable offices at ward level, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I know that just before we came to office, we also had that conversation that we will need to work together to ensure that also within the establishment of the county assembly, that we have a proper plan to also ensure that our members, nominated members of county assembly, also have respectable offices within this establishment. And Mr. Speaker, we shall also set aside funds to help the assembly, Mr. Speaker, to renovate after we have embarked on the construction of the new wing and finalization of the building that has been abandoned here for a long time. And because I believe that moving forward, that we are sharing the same heartbeat with the county assembly now. As we improve other county facilities, we shall also improve the facilities here in the county assembly. And Mr. Speaker, then our members can have respectable, not only here, offices, but outside there. And also, Mr. Speaker, it is my hope, it is my wish, it is my intention that at the end of these 5 years, that even as the county assembly resigns for us to go back to the election, that we shall leave a mark here also by being the first assembly in this government of Kiambu to have built a new chamber for this house. Mr. Speaker, it is my wish, it is my hope, it is my undertaking that we shall leave that as a mark, as a legacy. And even as we get re-elected in the year 2027, because of the work that we have done, Mr. Speaker, it will speak volumes that we came here serious and intent on changing the fate and fortune of the people of Kiambu, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have also renovated Kabete, Githunguri, as well as Gatondo North sub-county offices, and the latter is ongoing. My administration continues to be committed to enforcing county laws and applicable national legislation, thus enhancing adherence to the rule of law and reduced nuisances. We continue to secure county government premises through provision of sentry services and maintenance of law and order within the premises. Besides this, my administration has continued to enhance cordial working relationship with the business community, thus creating a healthy environment for their operations. We have enhanced control of hawking activities within the county urban areas by ensuring hawkers operate within regulated periods and in designated areas, thus enhancing free flow of both human and traffic and controlling unfair competition between formal and informal sectors. Mr. Speaker, not to overstate this position, allow me to also say that we value all our traders. We value our hawkers, we value our informal traders, we also value our established traders. And Mr. Speaker, our undertaking is to create a sober balance between the two interests across all our centers, towns, and urban areas, such that we embrace the philosophy of live and let live for everyone, Mr. Speaker. Addressing the issue of drug abuse and alcoholism among our youth is imperative. Through collaboration with the national government, through the County Commissioner's Office, the Department of Public Administration has intensified its effort to combat drug and alcohol abuse. We are also investing funds in establishing rehabilitation centers. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to announce to this House that the commencement of the construction of the first county-funded rehabilitation center will be starting in the next 30 days, Mr. Speaker, in Lusigeti, Mr. Speaker. We have already completed the process of identifying the land. We have completed the BOQs, Mr. Speaker. We have indeed now progressed to tendering stage, and we shall establish a fully fledged rehabilitation center at Lusigeti, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on a light touch, allow me to comment that not only is the area of Lusigeti an ideal ground because we surveyed it, Mr. Speaker, but the member of County Assembly there is also known to be a father. And And Mr. Speaker, it only is befitting that as we show and teach good morals and get our people back into fold, it is our hope that as we do that technically and with medical appliances and other medications, that also spiritually, Father will do his part to ensure that we rehabilitate our young people. I'm pleased to report substantial progress in this fight, which has garnered recognition from none other than the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. The Deputy President has lauded our administration for its efforts to battling these illicit substances. Kiambu County has also trained enforcement officers in partnership with the Nairobi County, deploying them as traffic marshals on busy roads, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I think also on this question of traffic marshals, we, as the county government of Kiambu, regionally, we have fairly stood to be identified as a county that has come up with good initiative. Before, it was a nightmare to drive through some of our urban areas, like here in Kiambu town, Mr. Speaker, some of the intersections of our roads in Thika town, Mr. Speaker, in Juja. But now, when you go and encounter some of our traffic marshals, Mr. Speaker, then at least there is relief as we expand our road network, Mr. Speaker. In a bid to control alcohol and substance abuse in the county, the Department of Administration is reviewing the Kiambu County Alcoholic Drinks Control Act, revised in 2022, so as to align the objectives of the Act with that of the Central Region. This will ensure that there is uniformity in the region as far as the fight against alcoholism is concerned. The fight against illicit brews, substandard and counterfeit alcoholic drinks will yield fruits when this law comes to effect. We have prepared a draft bill that will be presented before the House for discussion, public participation, and final adoption into law. This initiative will save our future generation. On the issue of human resource, my administration has embarked on having a well-structured and vibrant public service manned by competent and motivated personnel in all departments. My administration is also steadfast in ensuring the well-being of all county staff. Thus, we have procured comprehensive medical cover for all. Further to this, it is worth noting that my administration implemented court rulings of 2016 Industrial Cost number 115 of 2006 that ordered the reinstatement and payment of salary dues to 86 employees of the defunct Municipal Council of Thika, dismissed in the year 2000. Mr. Speaker, that may not be a very prominent matter to the eyes in the public domain, but just for comprehension and understanding of the House. When I came to office, Mr. Speaker, a team of elderly people who had served the county government for years, who are now grandmothers, came to my office pleading, Mr. Speaker, because they were never paid their dues after dismissal. I want to proudly announce that after they tried with all the other governments that were there before us, that we found it favorable to set aside funds, and we have now paid those grandmothers their dues, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that they retire in peace, Mr. Speaker. This group had waited for more than 6 years to receive any single payment from the county government, despite their several pleas to other governments before our government. My administration started paying their dues in installments, and that was with effect from 1st July 2023, and they are very appreciative. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, to support our border operators, my administration is in the process of setting up sheds in different routes. The sheds will provide a conducive environment for our youth to operate. Also, as a way of lending a hand to this hard-working section of our people, my government is assisting in the formation of border transport cooperatives. I encourage the operators to join hands to form cooperatives which will help them consolidate their savings. My government is steadfast in its resolve to uplift those at the base of the pyramid by providing them with a solid foundation to better their families. We are piloting with the Githurai Kimui Transport Cooperative to enhance access to credit, pooling savings for such noble projects. This includes affordable housing, service center, repair shops, and ability to buy their own motorbikes in order to improve their economic well-being. Mr. Speaker, this is something we want to repeat in every sub-county where we find organized groups of traders, and using Boda Boda as an example, but even other sectors of informal trade and formal trade, Mr. Speaker. We pioneered with Githurai Kimwi. We had a discussion with them when they inaugurated, and Mr. Speaker, we shall be supporting that group with Kenya shillings 1 million that they will put in their kitty as a circle, and we will give them guidelines and put up administrative structures to help them roll out that money, revolve it so that it can enhance the lives and the better being of those traders, Mr. Speaker, while keeping our eye on prudence. To further assist our youth, the department is securing car wash machines for our young people to make a living. My administration is in the process of establishing the following 11 markets in Lusigeti, Theta, Getuamba, Dumberi, Kamburu, and Shienda. Others are Bibirioni, Karia, Gadanje, Gedega, and Karatu. Mr. Speaker, all those markets are under the county government program. We have other markets, Mr. Speaker, about 28 of them, which the county government is also establishing in partnership with national government. But these specific ones, Mr. Speaker, the county is doing on its own, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we can catch up also with the demand as an agricultural community, Mr. Speaker. 60% of Kiambu's GDP is agricultural, Mr. Speaker. And that is why we have invested a lot, Mr. Speaker, in ensuring that all our traders have markets that are accessible. The newest entrant, the newest baby to enter this league of these county markets is also Ndeya, Mr. Speaker, where we have, Mr. Speaker, where we are also building a 50 million market at the Giu. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to acknowledge the cordial working relationship with national government, particularly His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. My administration has been working with different ministries as we do our part in supporting the bottom-up economic transformative agenda championed by the President. Through this closer collaboration with the national government, our county has been a beneficiary of a number of projects. As a significant partner in the affordable housing initiative spearheaded by His Excellency the President, Kiambu County government is fully prepared for the implementation of the project. The county has already set aside over 100 acres for this important project. Together with other stakeholders, my administration has already identified suitable parcels of land in various locations for the construction of houses, providing our people with proper shelter and generating employment opportunities. The sites identified for the first phase of the project include Kiambu Council Estate, Bustani, and Depot in Thika, which are readily available for immediate commencement of development. The second phase will see construction in areas in Roiro, Haile Selassie, and Bibirioni. I reaffirm our commitment as promised during the President's recent visit to the county to actively participate in this transformative affordable housing initiative. While we participate, how we anticipate the start of this project, I reiterate our determination to safeguarding public land against encroachment and by individuals with ulterior motives. And Mr. Speaker, let me emphasize this, because I have been very loud and clear that we will not blink at all, Mr. Speaker. And we believe that the House is in concert with us on this by ensuring that we say no to land grabbers, Mr. Speaker. And that we are going to stand to be counted, that we will take steps to recover all public land that has been previously stolen, taken by force at the detriment of our people here, Mr. Speaker, that we cannot be able to construct nursery schools, health centers, and other facilities, Mr. Speaker. And so this fight, we shall put it up until all our land is recovered. We will not overlook the actions and we will take necessary measures to preserve public resources. To enhance the value of agricultural produce, the county, in collaboration with the national government, is investing 500 million in setting up an aggregation park at the Warohio Agriculture Training Center in Ngewa, in Githunguri. The county has allocated 250 million in the 2023-2024 budget, with the remaining funds being contributed by the national government. This initiative will substantially increase returns for our farmers. We are also actively working on the development of an export processing zone in Thika and Ndeia to attract investors, create economic opportunities, and generate jobs to stimulate the economy, to stimulate the local economy. Mr. Speaker, part of the discussion that we are going to be having and that we intend to engage your House in, Mr. Speaker, after this, is on the importance of having our spatial plan approved and considered, Mr. Speaker, so that planning can be around functionality and usability of land, Mr. Speaker. For a long time, this has not been the case, Mr. Speaker, and I want to put it on record in this House, Mr. Speaker, that as the governor, I have sometimes taken very, very hard stands at determining where we can allow certain types of developments. And it is my policy that moving forward, Mr. Speaker, we are going to have a proper spatial plan for the entire county of Kiambu. And we shall not prioritize or allow, Mr. Speaker, the wanton destruction of agricultural land at the expense of feeding future generations to only grow and build concrete. We shall be rational in those approvals, Mr. Speaker. And that is why we are encouraging that spatial plan should show our people where you want to build in the places that are not agriculturally rich. If we want to develop, then develop only partially in the areas, Mr. Speaker, that are agriculturally rich, Mr. Speaker. But we shall stop that trend so that we can preserve our land. After my personal intervention, we are glad that the Cabinet Secretary for Investment, Trade and Industry recently gazetted our EPZ in Thika. And this EPZ, whose construction will start in 3 weeks' time, will generate thousands of jobs, opportunities for our youth. To further illustrate our close partnership with the national government, my administration has been instrumental in the establishment of new markets in the county. As soon as I was elected governor, I met with the president and lobbied for the construction of mega markets in Kiambu. As a result, the following mega markets will be constructed: Kamwangi in Gatundu North, Roiro Phase 2, Mr. Speaker, Madaraka in Thika, Kangangi in Kiambu, Githunguri, Wangige, and Githurai Phase 2, Mr. Speaker. The market designs were prepared in collaboration with the State Department of Housing and Urban Development and ourselves. The national government is also constructing 32 mini markets. These mini markets, Mr. Speaker, also are constructed in partnership and in consultation with the county government. Moreover, since taking office, I have actively engaged with the national government to address our water challenges head-on. I am delighted to inform you that the President agreed to allocate 5.7 billion to expand the capacity of Karemeno Dam. This expansion will increase its water capacity from the current 70 million cubic meters to 90 million cubic meters. And this will help Kiambu, Roiro, Juja, and Thika, which have been grappling with water shortage. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, allow me to commend this assembly for effectively fulfilling its crucial duties of legislating oversight and representation. I encourage all members to continue playing their roles in the spirit of mutual respect and regular consultation. Article 175 of the 2010 Constitution outlines the tenets of devolved governments, emphasizing democratic principles and the separation of powers as fundamental. Let us uphold these principles as we strive collectively for the betterment of the people of Kiambu. I wish to acknowledge the County Assembly's sacred role of keeping the executive in check by providing oversight. It is also important to stress that the Constitution does not envisage an adversarial relationship between the executive and the Assembly. The roles of both arms of government are clearly outlined in the supreme law. While the Assembly keeps the governor and his team in check, the executive is responsible for sanctioned by the legislature. I am pleased to note that in recent months, both arms operation is aimed at ensuring effective delivery of services to the people of Kiambu. And as the executive, we are committed to promoting harmony and staying dedicated to our agenda's delivery. We recognize that without a cooperative relationship with the county assembly, our ability to serve the people would be compromised. All that was happening was wrangles, Mr. Speaker. It was political competition. We have come to call a different song in this county, Mr. Speaker, that we shall work together, we shall be united, that we shall deliver on the vision that our people can find development in, Mr. Speaker. And so, as I've said, Mr. Speaker, with your permission and members, that as the governor, I am not blinking, neither will I be swayed, Mr. Speaker. We shall not be intimidated either. Now hit right on the development agenda of this county, Mr. Speaker. And I want to urge all members that we all took an oath where I am standing today, and everyone lifted the Bible in their right hand and committed to serve the county and serve the country without fear or favor. And Mr. Speaker, that oath is binding to all of us. And once you take an oath, you cannot betray the same oath you took sacredly to ensure that you will stand to be counted in the light and in the darkness, Mr. Speaker. That what you speak is what you do, Mr. Speaker. And so I want to urge all members to join hands with us, with all of us of goodwill, so that when 2027 comes, our people will say we were right in electing this team to deliver on the agenda of the people of Kiambu. And I am sure, Mr. Speaker, as I close, that if we embrace that, this house will make a record that we shall be the one house being the third sitting assembly since the first election after devolution to have the highest number of members re-elected back to this house. Because, Mr. Speaker, what our people want to see is that the fruits of their labor, as they put their best foot forward to build this country, are also complemented by the elected leaders, Mr. Speaker. And that is where I stand to be counted, Mr. Speaker. As far as the leadership of Kiambu is concerned, we shall be humble, we shall employ humility, but we shall also be firm in ensuring that we stand with our people. As the scripture in the book of Isaiah 1:18, and I quote, "Come now, let us reason together," aptly expresses the importance of unity among people. It emphasizes the synergy and the power that arises when individuals come together with a shared purpose. Let us take inspiration from this biblical illumination and commit ourselves to work together. I must also appreciate the Assembly for enacting legislation forwarded by the Executive, the latest being the Finance Bill 2023, the Kiambu Revenue Bill 2023, which I have already assented to. I appeal to members to consider the other bills that we have already submitted to this House. And honorable members, I want to assure you that I will support laws emanating from members of this House. This is for the benefit of our people. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, allow me to invoke the classic insight of American industrialist and business magnate Henry Ford, who wisely observed, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes the address before this honorable House. God bless us all, God bless Kiambu, and God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. I will now request you so that we can deal with the last business of the day, which is adjournment. In order, Your Excellency and all our guests to remain upstanding until the procession of His Excellency the Governor and the Speaker exits the chamber. Honorable members, Your Excellency the Governor, this assembly now stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 13th of February 2024 at 10 a.m. I thank you all. We shall now have the national anthem.
shall take 2 photos. One photo while we are standing and also seated, and then we are going to take a photograph of all the members of County Assembly, the Governor, the Speaker, and the House leadership. Without the seats in the center. All right. You look smart. So we go. You ready? Then the front row can now sit. So we're good?
Very good, very good.
Making Kiambu great again with Governor Dr. Kiambu Matagi. Easy head.
That's okay. I see we don't have any CECs and CEOs. I think we're good to go. Thank you very much. So that we can balance the photo, let us have this one over here.
Wait.
Making Kiambu great again.
Yes.
With EGH. Dr. Kimani Wamataki. Cheers.
Just look at us.
Yeah, we can have attention to the camera.
Just look at us.
Which camera now?
This way. All right. Thank you.
Kwa sababu yale mambo ambayo yameguza ni yale mambo ambayo tuliyoahidi Wanjiku wa Kiambu. Huenda kusema ataongeza mambo ya basali, tulikuwa tunapeana milioni 300, sasa amesema mwaka ujao itakuwa milioni 500. Hiyo ni mambo mazuri sana kwa sababu itafanya watoto wetu wasome. Mambo ya kujenga ECD amesema atajenga darasa 150 na zaidi. Kwa hivyo naweza sema kama hayo mambo atafanya ni mambo ambayo itaonekana. Mambo ya hospitali ataongezea hospitali level 3 hospitals, na mimi niko na ushahidi ya kwamba kwangu Dendero last week tuli launch hospitali ya level 3. Kwa hivyo mimi naweza sema akiendelea kufanya kazi, sisi tukiwa kama MCS tutamunga mkono ndio tufanyie watu wetu kazi.
Na pengine mtampitishia zile bills ambazo ameomba hii kama diwani muweze kumpitishia ndio aweze kufanya miradi tofauti.
Ndio tutapitisha tukiangalia tuone zinafaa. Kama hakuna makosa, zingine zinakuja tunaangalia kama ni amendment tunafanya tunarudisha, lakini ikiingia vile haitakuwa inafinya Wanjiku wa Kiambu, sisi tutapitisha ndio aweze kufanya kazi. Na sisi tukimpitishia kama bajeti ambayo tulipitisha ya 21 billion, akileta supplementary, sisi tunasema tunataka tuone itemize, tuone ile kitu ametoa ile anaweka, na tukiangalia tuone iko sawa, sisi tukiwa kama
ni muko muhitukiria miswada imwe eho na inyumu dimandi mai
miswada ĩrĩa ĩkuo thĩinĩ wa mbunge ya kaunti ya Kiambu, ithuĩ tũrĩ ta MCAs nĩ tũkũhĩtũkia, no tũkũhĩtũkia thutha wa kũrora tuone yagĩrĩire nĩ gũkorwo miswada mĩega, no kũngĩkorwo kwĩna kaũndũ kangĩgiria nĩ gĩkũhinyĩrĩria Wanjiku wa Kiambu kana gatigũkorwo gagĩteithia andũ aitũ arĩa matũthurire. No ũhoro wa budget nĩ twaiguithanĩirie na kwĩna supplementary budget ĩrĩa ĩgũka, nĩ tũraugire nĩ tũkũrora tũrore supplementary ĩgĩkwo, miradi ĩrĩa ĩgũkorwo ĩgĩkĩrĩrwo. Gũtigakorwo kwĩna supplementary ĩgĩkwo ĩkorwo nĩ mbeca cia kũhũthĩka, no gũka nĩ ũhoro wa development, gũtirĩ na mbeca ciarũkĩtĩirwo development. Hau noho tũgĩkorwo tũkĩrĩ na ngarari kidogo, no agĩkorwo nĩ gũkorwo ĩigananĩtio nĩ tũkũhĩtũkia.
Asante.
And it was a good address. As for me, I'm very happy. One, that out of 60 wards, my ward, Muguga, and Biashala ward in Loiru are the ones getting cablo machines, which will bring a lot of employment to the youths. And so I'm glad and I'm happy with that address. Something touching on the assembly that he has touched is about internal or external interference, whereby foreigners, as in from the assembly, are interfering with the learnings of this assembly, and he has talked about it too well. And that is why we have several divisions here and there, with our leadership, with the executive, and he has tackled us that very well. And now I'm sure that any external force that wants to interfere with the good learning, the smooth learning of Kiambu County Assembly, we will no longer do that job. I'm also very glad that among the things that he has said he will do for the Assembly is that he will make sure that the Assembly gets a better house for in the wards at his offices, and also the plenary. If we were to bring developments to the Assembly, that's something that will bring or that will leave a legacy of the third Assembly. So for me, it was really good and I really appreciate the governor as I continue congratulating him with the Speaker, Honorable Thiongo Chaus, because they awarded several, governor was awarded EGH by the President, and also the Speaker was added another medal. I'm too proud of them, and we are happy. Everything was well. It went well.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've had the annual county State of the County address by His Excellency the Governor. The Governor has been able to elaborate on the projects that he has been able to undertake within the last year, and he has also laid the ground for what will be done in the next year. And as I had discussed earlier, it is a requirement that is stipulated in the County Governments Act and in our standing orders that every year the governor must come to the County Assembly to basically give us the state of affairs in the county, and the governor has done that. So what will happen, members, we are on recess at the moment. Once we come back, members will have an opportunity of debating the governor's address. Once we come in back in session in February, and they'll be able then to ventilate on what the governor has been able to present before the Assembly. Suffice to say that the speech or the address has covered a wide range of issues about projects in healthcare, about roads, about schools, about bursaries, and many other areas of interest. And from where I see it, it will be important for all residents of Kiambu County to basically look at the contents of the address, because it is key for members to know what the county government is doing for them. So it is a great honor. It was a colorful event from the word go up to the end, and it has also afforded an opportunity for His Excellency the Governor to interact and mingle with members of the County Assembly and also the staff of the Assembly, which is important. As we close, it is my singular honor to wish all residents of Kiambu and all Kenyans in general very Merry Christmas and a prosperous year 2024, full of God's blessings, and may all the dreams and aspirations of our great residents come to fruition, and all the plans that all our people have, may they all come to pass. So thank you very much.
I believe that we have, the County Assembly is looking at the supplementary budget estimates,
Yes.
and according to what the Governor has talked about, the departments, the 10 departments cutting across in terms of development. Do you think they're going to be able, the County Assembly is going to help the Governor in terms of realigning the supplementary budget towards the vision in the next year?
Absolutely. The Governor has alluded to the supplementary budget. He has talked about development at the executive side. But also, most importantly, the Governor has also at length dwelt on development on the side of the Assembly. We appreciate that our Assembly is among the biggest assemblies in this country, comprising of 86 members. We have serious challenge of facilities, including a very small assembly, which is back then from the old days of the county council, and members are literally not able to fit in the assembly. The Governor has given a commitment that one of the legacy that we want to leave is to put up a brand new assembly that will be able to accommodate all the members. He has also discussed about ward offices for elected members across the wards and many other development in the assembly. But discussing in the wider spectrum of development in our country, the Governor has discussed about putting up of new medical facilities, putting up of new ECD classes, and many other infrastructure projects. So it is important for our members of public to appreciate what the county government is doing. And as you correctly said, we are looking at processing the supplementary budget. There are a lot of projects in our budget. We have particularly one key project that I would want to highlight. That is the aggregation center that is being put up at Waruhi Farm in the Thongori sub-county. It is one of the key projects that we are looking forward to as a county because it will value add on all the fruits that our farmers farm, and will be able then to enhance the income and output that our farmers get from the produce. So the commitment that we wish to give is that as an assembly, we shall expeditiously deal and dispense off with the supplementary budget to ensure that all the projects that are in that supplementary then are able to be rolled out.
So, because as much as it was the Governor's address, you as an assembly, do you have any progress that you can say that you have passed this, and especially the money bills at the same time processing petitions and also motions?
Absolutely. I mean, the County Assembly of Kiambu has been among the most vibrant and proactive assemblies. You recall that we are the first assembly in the country to pass the budget for year 2023-2024, and it is on record. We have passed the finance bill 2023-2024. Again, a milestone. Most assemblies I know they have not been able to process the finance bill. We have also come up with a very transformative Kiambu Revenue Authority bill, which is an act now. In fact, we passed the bill and it was assented to by His Excellency the Governor, which allowed the county to harness collection of levies and charges. And I would think, honestly, from where I sit, we have one of the most progressive assemblies in the country. And time will tell, because at the end of our term here, I know the record will speak for itself. We have many other bills that are in the pipeline. We have the Community Health Promoters Bill that we are processing as an assembly. We have the ECD bill that we are processing. We have the Persons Living with Disability Bill that is also in the pipeline, and many other pieces of legislation that we are processing. In fact, what I would want to undertake and commit to our members of the public, even though we are on recess, recess only applies to plenary. Our committees are burning the midnight oil to ensure that all these pieces of legislation are prepared, so that once we come back in February, we just table them and pass them, so that we can then have all the projects that the county wishes to implement rolling on. I know this without fear of doubt or contradiction, that as an assembly we shall stand the test of time and prove to be among the most progressive and vibrant.
How was the reception and behavior of the members today?
Facts speak for themselves. Res ipso licita. Facts that speak for themselves don't need to be elaborated. The members are very happy. You can tell they received the governor's speech very well. They were applauding, and in fact, I would also challenge you, members of the press, to come back in February when members are debating the bill, because I think that is when they'll be able then to delve into the contents of the speech by His Excellency the Governor. But suffice to say that members were very, very upbeat, and I would wish to appreciate even members for finding time, because this was a special sitting that we had called members for purposes of the Governor's address, and I would want to put it in record the sincere appreciation of the entire County Assembly to all our members.
This call from the Governor on the special planning to curb converting Kiambu agricultural rich areas into concrete jungle.
Yes.
What is your take?
Absolutely, one of the most important things. It is one of the biggest elements of developmental control. The challenge we are having as a country, and indeed as a county, is that we are turning all agricultural land into concrete jungles. There is no problem with development, but for those who understand the element of zoning, you can zone some areas which you are going to designate as areas where you are going to put up commercial buildings and other development, but also put up some areas which are primarily for agricultural land. If you move around our county, the lush tea bushes in Limuru are being converted into concrete jungles. If you go the other side of Tinganga, those coffee farms, they are being turned into concrete jungles. So there is need to have a special plan, and not only that, also to have an effective developmental control regime in our country, so that we are able to have the concrete jungles working, but also we don't compromise and jeopardize our food security.
The government has highlighted interference outside. Going forward, how do you take this statement?
From us and as Assembly, we strive to be independent. The County Assembly is established under the Constitution as an independent arm of the county government, and it goes without saying that the County Assembly should operate, and it must operate like an independent. So the fact on the table, as His Excellency the Governor has put it, it is a factual statement. Members of this assembly would want to carry out their business without interference, without intervention, and ensure, and for the record, we don't want interference or intervention from any quarter, be it from the executive, be it from any other person. This is an independent arm of the county government that is so established under the Constitution. So we don't need to emphasize what is the obvious.
Thank you, sir.
Majority.
Ungependa kusema kitu?
Does he need this? Just a minute. Does he need this?
Yes.
We want to actually thank the governor, because as the Act the County Government Act states, he has proved it that he wants to actually comply with all the laws of the land, and he has come to the County Assembly today to do his annual county address. And we are particularly very happy because of the many good things that His Excellency has put during his speech. And it is for sure that His Excellency the Governor has the will and the zeal to transform this county to greater heights, because he has talked about so many things that actually touches on the common people, starting from actually the health bill that we are sorry. No problem. Do I need to start all?
No, you just pick it from where you feel it.
The governor has actually talked much about the Wamatangi Afia, which actually he has modeled a thing that will come and remove our people from the poverty that they have been grappling with for many years. Our governor has brought up so many good things, including agriculture. Actually, he's giving free chicks to our people. He's giving free fertilizer and seeds to our people to ensure that we are able to curb poverty,
majority. There's to reduce the deficit in the assembly.
We have had a very bad year as a county assembly, and especially because of the many external bad influences that has been finding their way to the county assembly. And I want to echo the words of the governor during his address, that is calling upon every one of us, every other leader from our region, that is Kiambu County, to partner and have a partnership of goodwill to ensure that we transform the lives of our people. We call upon all leaders that instead of having and spending a lot of energy with negative things, we just purpose to partner together, because our people elected us at a time like this because they wanted us to deliver good things for them. So it is also my call that as we come to the close of the year, let us close the chapter of bad things, the bad influence, and look forward to starting a good year with good energy to transform the lives of our people.
Governor ne auma na ritana ya kuga ndũgamano inyanyie tondu andu othe makainuka rita rimwe na mathurĩtwo
ta county assembly na county yothe tukoretwo twina hinda iritũ mũno mwaka-inĩ ũcio ũrathirire, tondu nĩ ũndũ ũtarĩ higo-inĩ, tondu wa maũndũ maingĩ moru marĩa makoretwo makĩhanĩka, na nĩ tondu wa influence ĩrĩa nguga nĩ influence njũru ya kuma na nja wa assembly, tukarehererio maũndũ marĩa ithuĩ tũtarĩ na bata wamo. Na ta ũrĩa governor auga mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ, nĩ tũroria andũ aitũ othe, atongoria othe a Kiambu, o mũndũ anyite mũro mwena wake, twĩna ũrũmwe, twĩna muoroto ũmwe wa kuhakikisha atĩ nĩ tũradeliver maũndũ mega kũrĩ andũ aitũ, tondũ maũndũ maya mothe twaga gwĩkaguo hĩndĩ ya karumbeta ya huho mwaka wa 2027 tukahũrwo na rũcamio rũmwe ithuothe, tondu wa kwaga kuonania utongoria ũrĩa wagĩrĩire gũkũ gwitũ. Andũ aitũ matũcagũrire na nĩgetha tũgakorwo na maũndũ mega marĩa tũkamũmĩrĩria, na nĩgetha tũtikanakoragwo na kahinda ga gũteanĩria.
Nĩ kũrĩ na wagi wa mĩtaratara mĩiganu mĩgũnda kũrĩa irio ciagũrwo gũkũrio, gwakorwo nĩguo kũrakwo nyũmba na ng'aragu ikoneka ta ĩngĩũka Kiambu. Hihi we wĩta majority rĩtana rĩaku nĩ rĩrĩkũ, na nĩ mũkũhĩtũkĩria gavana watho wa ĩtagwo special planning?
Gwĩciria ta atongoria arĩa macagũrĩtwo ihinda rĩrĩ, nĩ wega mũno tũngĩgeria kũhota kũbalance maũndũ maya me mothe. Nĩ tũrabatara kũndũ gwa gũikara, na nĩ tũrabatara irio cia kũrĩa na iria ingĩ cia kwendia iria tũkoragwo twĩnayo cash crop itũ, na koguo ta county nĩ wega tũkorwo tũkĩhota kũmenya nĩ mwena ũrĩkũ tũkũgitĩra, nĩgetha tũtikanakoragwo atĩ nĩ twaingĩrire guothe nginya kũrĩa kwarĩ kwa ũrĩmi tũgĩtuĩka gwaka manyũmba matheri. Nĩ koguo niĩ nĩ ndĩra support ũhoro ũcio na njĩra nene, na ngeria andũ aitũ atĩ marotuĩka nao a gwĩtĩkĩra matikone thirikari tarĩ kũmahinyĩrĩria, aramahinyĩrĩria no tondu wa mitaratara miega na mibango miega metikire ati mubango ucio tuuhe kipaumbele.
Thank you.
Chair. Not to get on a chair.
Planning.
Ni planning.
Ndio mwene spacio hiyo.
Agenda hiyo ya spatial planning.
Let's start with what is your plan and what is your take about the spatial plan called by the governor?
Thank you. My name is Moses Gatha Wabiri, MCA Murera World, Chairman of County Planning in Kiambu County. Today we really appreciate the governor mentioning about the passion of a spatial plan. And this is a project that we are going to support. We, as the residents of Kiambu, we need to have a good plan for development and for agriculture area. And this is the plan that we are going to support as a county assembly, as the planning committee, and support as a county assembly, as the planning committee, as all the elected members, that we must have an order in our planning in Kiambu County.
Atia, ukiuna Gikuyu.
Njĩtagwo Moses Gatha Wabiri, MCA wa Murera Ward, na nĩ chairman wa planning committee Kiambu County. Tũracokeria gavana witũ Kimani wa Matangi ũmũthĩ nĩ gwĩkĩrĩra hinya ũhoro wa spatial plan ya Kiambu County ĩrĩa ĩkuĩte mĩaka 10 ĩtarĩ yakorwo ĩho, na rĩu nĩ tũkũgĩa na kahinda ga gũkorwo twĩna plan nĩguo tũmenye andũ kwa agriculture, kwa industry na kũrĩa tũgwaka manyũmba nĩguo tũtuĩke nĩ tũkũgĩa na irio citũ cia Kiambu kũrĩa gũkorwo nĩ kwa agriculture, kwa agriculture na kwa manyũmba kwa agriculture. Ithuĩ ta elected member of the county assembly nĩ tũgũsupport ũhoro ũcio na tũũnyitĩrĩre na tũteithĩrĩrie harĩa hothe hekũbatarania nĩguo tũtigĩrĩre Kiambu County thutha kahinda kau gothe ka devolution for those years nĩ twagĩa na spatial plan itũ.
Guys, you can start with your names and your title, and then jaga ile dwajira ni ukwarĩtie wame ani ndela
ndole kamera ĩrĩkũ. Mheshimiwa, you can share with us from your own perspective, how was the day? How did you perceive the governor's address to the House? And maybe what is your best pick from the speech?
Thank you very much. I am Madam Nelson Munga, a member for Ndeya Ward and the majority people of Kiambu County Assembly. Today is a great day. It's a wonderful day that His Excellency the Governor was here and addressed us. More importantly is that His Excellency was here on time. He was supposed to address the Assembly at 2:30. Governor was here at exactly 2. Paraded the guard of honor, and then he was in the Speaker's office and later to the chambers. So he was prompt, he was on time, and that to me is a milestone. Number two, that the entire address is a great milestone to the Kiambu, greater people of Kiambu. When Governor has addressed and attached each and every docket by docket, led by the health sector, I am impressed by the plans that the Governor has, the number of health facilities that he's going to do, the health facility system, the digitalization of the healthcare, such that you can walk in and walk out like what we normally do in a bank. You do not necessarily need to know who is there, who is serving you. The health practitioners do not need to know your name by your name, but it's just a matter of numbers and digitalization. And then you find that your issues are addressed, and then we are expecting at that digitalization, we are expecting, and I personally am expecting, that the data will be safe for our members of the community. More importantly is that we shall manage to know and commensurate the number of drugs that has been sent to a health facility, per se, let's say in Ndeya Health Center, the number of drugs that has been sent there, the number of drugs that they have received at the pharmacy, and the number of the patients that has been attending there. So we believe the system will manage to synchronize and give us a system that we shall be so sure that the number of patients the number of drugs are altering with the services that has been offered. When it comes to agriculture, I want to commend the good work that His Excellency the Governor is doing, especially when it comes to the distribution of the fertilizers and the chicks. And I wish to request the Governor to bring us the budget, and we shall embody that budget to make sure that as many people as much we can manage to give them the chicks and the pigs and whatever. And more so, those who do not benefit with the chicks can also benefit with something else like cows and the feeding. So when it comes to youths and the resource, youths are the resource. They are merely the backbone of our county. I want to say when it comes to the infrastructure of the stadiums, I personally am a beneficiary in Deya. I am also a beneficiary when it comes to market. I'm also a beneficiary when it comes to health. And the youths, the resource center that Governor has really addressed about, I want to commend the good work that the Governor is doing. And as an assembly, ours is to support him because he's the one to implement. Ours is to registrate and make sure that we are approving and making sure that things are moving. In every department, I am impressed.
Well, Chief, you are going for recess. Maybe, how do you gauge the year in performance of the Kiambu County Assembly?
This time around, I am really impressed because I can say, vis-a-vis the previous year, is that everyone was new. We as the members, Governor was also new in the system of executive, because you remember previously he was in the Senate as a legislature, and this time around he just took the oath of the office. We were still new, we didn't know one another. This time we have bonded and we know one another. We have managed to register so many bills, so many motions, so many statements. So this time around, if I were to give, I think 10 out of 10 this time around. So the assembly has been really working, and we look forward for the next. Otherwise, we are in agreement as an entire assembly that called upon, even if we're in recess, called upon anytime, any minute, for the benefit of our greater people of Kiambu. Whether it is in holiday, at night, during the day, we shall make sure that we are there to serve our people.
Your Christmas wishes to the people?
Thank you very much. Allow me to wish each and everyone a happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas, and a prosperous New Year. And pass it to my people in Deya, my greater people, and that's my bosses. We wish you a Merry Christmas and happy and prosperous New Year. Thank you, and God bless you.
You are blessed too.
Rebecca, you want say one. Yeah, for the ladies. Check.
Yes, so Mheshimiwa is here. He can talk about what has happened today, the governor's address. You can tell us briefly what you think about the governor's address, because you can see that it's almost leaving.
Good evening. My name is Honorable Rebecca Kiai. Today's governor address was amazing. He talked about implementation of
It is on. We are live. Just talked about. So, as you have seen today, we heard the governor's address, and the governor has been here the whole of the afternoon together with the members. He has addressed various issues concerning the county, or touching all the 10 departments. There is agriculture, trade, and tourism. There is roads and infrastructure and public works. He has talked about a range of issues that he has been able to do, and actually he has brought us to speed with what the county government has done, including the county assembly, because the county assembly is an arm that is envisaged to legislate for the county laws and everything that is supposed to be done in terms of regulations and policies. And these are things that the county government of Kiambu, including the county assembly arm, we have been able to synchronize the two arms of the county government to work together. And therefore, we can see that the governor will be leaving very soon, and we want to take this opportunity to thank the members together with the county executive for giving us, for giving people of Kiambu an opportunity to listen to the governor and what the governor has in store for them together with the county assembly members. And therefore, on behalf of the speaker, on behalf of the clerk, and on behalf of the whole team that has been there to organize this event, I wish to take
this opportunity to wish the people of Kiambu a Merry Christmas and a happy coming New Year. Thank you.
Umeenda best couple. Umeenda best couple.
No, akagava na yake hau. Gavana no mwaka wake hau.
Good. So that is the Speaker, Honorable Wakili Charles Murungaro Diongo, who is seeing off the Speaker, as well as being accompanied by the Leader of Majority. They are seeing off the Governor so that he can leave. And in the meantime, as we come to the end of this live broadcast, I would like to invite one of the members who has one of the best bills that she wants to be passed as an act, which is going to help our institutions. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa, just talk briefly about what are you thinking about the governor's address, and as well what you have in terms of legislation yourself.
Thank you. I would like to point out the governor's speech where he mentioned about the vocational training institutions, and he said we're going to have VCT in every ward. One of his manifesto was to have capital making machines in every VTC, and so we are happy that he has reiterated on that. Funds have already been set aside to buy the Kiambu machines, and therefore this is going to increase the economic activities of our youth within the county, which is a great thing. Other than the VTCs, he talked about the ECDs, that is our ECD or our nursery schools. He talked about the school feeding program. We have seen an increase of number of students or number of pupils enrolling to our ECDs, just because there is some cup of hot uji every day, 3 servings of an egg 3 times a week, and he has also promised to have a glass of milk every Thursday. So we are happy that we're going to increase the nutrition of our children in our ECDs, and that we're going to increase the infrastructure of our vocational training centers and also increase the courses. We're also planning to have centers of excellence within the vocational training centers within our ward, and that is going to increase the economic activity and chance to have skills that one can be able to employ themselves and make an economic activity. Thank you. God bless Kiambu. God bless Kiambu.
Thank you. Thank you, Mheshimiwa. God bless you. I think the governor now is gone, and that marks the end of our work today and this session, and we wish to thank everybody who participated to be very active. Thank you very much, and God bless you so much.